Welcome to the Law Offices of Mary Kennedy. Today we'll talk about the visitor visa. So what's that gets approval of the stamping of the visitor visa? The more important is you have to have a purpose of travel. So there are two different criteria. One is a self-sponsored visitor visa application. Other one is somebody is supporting you in the process. In my experience, what I have observed is the recent days when you are fulfilling some of the criteria, the major one is like your financial status or your financial earnings. Say for example, you're in an IT company working in India, and you do have two younger kids, and you have one more important criteria: you have traveled around many other countries. It can be a neighboring country like Singapore or Dubai or somewhere else, and now you want to be going to US. That makes a lot of difference in the approval. That's one of the important thing that people doesn't realize. In that case, you can be your own self-sponsor. All that needed is your financial documentations. Very unlikely that the consulate officer is going to look into your documents. They ask about where do you work, what do you do, and then what is your intention. It can be as simple as I'm planning on to celebrate my son's 10th birthday, or something like your anniversary or whatever it is, and I had been traveling to all the other countries and now I want to go to US. So that's one of the things that people miss to notice it, and always looking for somebody to support. It can be a friend or any other person, but this will be something that you should consider. And more than that, the ties that has been associated to the home country. Earlier time period, you used to get all the documents of the houses and everything very limitedly. Now the consulate officer is looking in that direction. Mostly is your confidence of saying that, hey, I have a job that's going to be connected with me and my children are all here, and then it's only for the purpose of visiting. Most likely that's getting approval. The other criteria as well, it's also there. Like if your children are in US and then you are as a parent traveling to US and you want to visit the country, that's also one of the possibilities. Then you become like your children will be your sponsors. In that case, all that you needed is the home ties. That might be your parents that who are still over there, or your other children who are still in the country. And so many other criteria fulfills the second part of it, where you get a sponsor letter and then financial document of the person who is in US, and that gets fulfilled. And one more thing that we have observed is the return ticket. That's always a criteria that has been always there. Sometimes we feel like, oh, the recent administration has been requiring these additional documents. It's always there. And be very intentional about your intention to visit. That's only to visit US. Nothing other than matters. That's the reason for the intended visa. Every visa has its own purpose of it. If you're a dependent on a H1B, then that has a different criteria. Don't connect between those or intermix between those. It's always specific. Give them the answer what is specific to the requirement of your visas, and hopefully you'll get it approved. No, that's not something that you can do. Definitely, even when you look into it, if you're bringing up a big, like 4 suitcases along with the 3 different laptops, that itself is a red flag that you're here, coming here, and you're trying to find a place and then work and finding an opportunity to work. So every visa, as I said, has its own purpose. So if you're on a H1B, that has its own criteria. So do not mix between both, and be mindful that you're not bringing the whole wardrobe to be here when you're saying that you want to stay for a month. However, you get it till 6 months. And also one more thing that's associated with this, when you're extending your extension of stay for any reason, it could be very, very mindful of one more criteria. If in case the extension gets denied, it's not just the extension alone. Your visa that has been stamped for 10 years, that's getting cancelled as well. Legal requirement on the other one is it's only for 12 months. That is the maximum you can stay in the country at one time of a visit is 12 months. The only exception that happened was during the COVID period due to the emergency and the urgency situation. So do not try to extend it beyond that time period of 12 months. There's no reason unless there is a medical emergency reason.
For parents with medical conditions.
The parents with medical conditions, when they come over here and for any unfortunate situations they are forced to be staying or extending their stay, you have to give all the required documentations. And then also something the usually we advise is also having an insurance. We do understand there are not many options that's available on the visitor visa insurance. However, that's a different topic. But then that has to be given as much as detailed documentation, because more important is retaining your visa stamping that's available for you 10 years. Don't look at the short term benefits. You can always go out of country, stay for a while, and then you can return back and enjoy the stay within the US. Thank you. Thank you for watching.